Dear students, hello everyone. I hope everyone is fine. Happy Ramadan to everyone. In this series of videos, I'm intending to get you ready for the baccalaureate exam, to give you some tips, hints, in order to manage your time, to deal with the paper, the questions, and to get familiar with exam questions. So today, we are going to focus on language component in the exam. So in exam, as you know, there are three sections: reading comprehension, language, and writing. We are going today to focus on the language component because it worth 15 points out of 40. The language section includes vocabulary, grammar, and functions. Let's begin the first slide. Here we have vocabulary exercises. A, you are asked to fill in the gaps. This is a very easy question, fill in the gaps or fill in the blanks. It's always just from the list, above, or at the bottom. You're going to choose according to the exercise. For example, here I have 1 and 2 is for vocabulary. Number 1 is for collocation. As you know, collocation is a combination of two words that frequently go together. For example, business. Do we say make business, do business, or take business? Of course, you need to go and revise make and do collocations. And the right one for here is do business. To do business means to work with many African countries. This is the meaning of collocation, do business. Number 2, Leslie couldn't decide she needs to more about the job. Again, it's about phrasal verb. You need just to know the other, let's say, the structures, the other words that do not fit. I think find out is the right one because here she needs to discover more about the job. If you read the context, you're just going to say, oh, it's easy. Find out is the correct one. But put on, it depends. It can be related to dress up, or to wear your clothes, to make someone believe that something is true, though it's not true. Let in is to ask someone or to open the door to let someone in. So the right one is find out, of course. Number B here is about word formation, suffixes and prefixes. Sometimes we need to add, sometimes we need to reduce or to omit. For example, 1, Facebook made a short video. 2, we need a verb. In between brackets, we have celebration. It's a noun. So we need a verb. So we need to reduce or to omit and delete those, letters. Celebrate is the verb, to celebrate. While corporal punishment, we need to add here in this number 2, punishment. Corporal punishment is forbidden in our schools. Moving to the second slide, exercise C. It can be conditional, reported speech, passive voice, linking words. Whatsoever lesson should be remembered in a very correct way. If you take a look at number 1, where can I find a gas station? Simply because you have here, let me just highlight this one. You have here the, let's say, quotation marks or the inverted commas. It means we are dealing with a reporting speech sentence. The sentence is what? Students should take a look at the form. Is it a statement or a question or an imperative? It's a question. What type of a question? Yes, no question or WH question? It's a WH question. Great. As you know, we use where for a place. It's the same. Plus subject, she, the normal word order, she could find a gas station. So the change here is that can, as modal verb, became could. Number 2, they will equip highways with sophisticated cameras. Highways is taken from here, and it is put at the beginning of a sentence, so it is the subject of the other sentence. They is the subject here. Will help is the verb in the future simple. Highways is the object, so the object is taken to begin a new sentence. This means this is passive voice, right? Passive voice, we put the verb to be in the same tense. It's will be equipped with sophisticated cameras. For number 3, it's conditional. But what conditional? Because we have here because, that's the comma. So we need to omit this one. Luckily, we need just to focus on the main clause because we have F here plus past perfect plus the subject, and of course the subject here we need could or would, because we have here could, couldn't. We're going to use could. Negative becomes here affirmative, and we're going to use the form could plus have plus past participle. This is past participle of the verb put because it doesn't change. Put out. Put out fire means to extinguish the fire, to stop fire. Great. Moving to the other slide, exercise D. It's about tenses. Put the verbs in bracket in the correct form. It can be tenses, it can be gerund, infinitive. By the end, here, students are advised to fetch for the signals, the indicators, by the end of this year. By the end of this year, we're speaking about something not yet happened, but it's in the future, and it's going to happen before the end of this year. So by the end, by means before the end. Before the end. So we're going just to use well plus have plus past participle of the verb obtain. Obtain is regular, so plus ed. Will have obtained. Number two, if you are looking for the indicator or the signal word, yet is the keyword. So yet is used mainly with present perfect, but we need to check. Check the sentence. You see here we have we visited Erfurt, but we not be to Merzouga yet. Negative form, so the right answer is haven't been to Merzouga yet. Haven't been to Merzouga yet. So here a 2 is missing. Haven't been to Merzouga. Exercise E, you are going to fill in the blanks with the appropriate words from the lists. Number 1, my sister's handwriting is beautiful. Mine is terrible. So the options here, despite, since, and whereas, you see they are connectives or linking words. Despite to express concession. Since to express cause and effect. Whereas, it's for comparison and contrast. So my sister's handwriting is beautiful, whereas mine is terrible. Whereas is the right answer because it's a kind of comparison between my handwriting and my sister's handwriting. Number 2, I can't remember the person. The person sent me this video. So here we have person and relative pronouns. We just need to know exactly when to use who, which, whose, where, when, why, etc. And whom, of course, then that. So when I say who is used to refer to people, so there is a person here, and it should be a verb. If there is a verb, it's automatically who. But if there is a noun, we can use whose. And if we have an object, we use which. So the right answer here is who. To exercise F, match each expression with its appropriate function. Here, I advise students to study the function options first and then to go back to the expressions. Means it's better for me, if I were in your position, it's better to start with this column. Then you see giving advice, okay, I understand. Expressing regret, I know. Expressing certainty, it's easy. Responding to bad news, yes, I got it. So then when you are sure about the functions, when you read the expression, it's easy to spot which function is that. For example, you must be Andrew's brother. You look like him. Here, it's expressing certainty. So automatically, I'm going to say number 1 goes with C. By the way, you can write the letters, needless to write the whole expressions here, giving advice or expressing certainty. The gap provided is not very enough all the time, but sometimes if you can write very small handwriting, it's okay. But I prefer use the code. 1 goes with C. 2, why don't you consult a lawyer about this problem? This is giving advice. Someone is giving you an advice. So number 2 goes with A. 3, I'm sorry to hear that you lost your ankle. Of course, someone has lost his ankle and you are expressing sympathy or condolences. This is responding to bad news. So number 3 goes with D. And of course, last one, 4. If only we had taken the high-speed train. It's just to express regret. If only is a keyword to express regret. I'm going to highlight the keywords. If only. Here, I'm sorry to hear that you lost. This is responding to bad news. Why don't you? This is advice. And must here is to express certainty. Next, the last exercise in functions is about completing the following dialogues or exchanges. Bear in mind that there is no clear-cut answer, and we can have varied answers. Means teachers or correctors of the exam, they should accept whatever you write, that it should be relevant to the context. The first character says, I have a terrible toothache. One of the answers, I think you ought to visit a dentist. Here, if students manage to use ought to, is a good expression to give someone advice. And this one is relevant to the context. It should be a kind of logic relationship. For number 2, a student is requesting or making a request to use a tablet. She said, can I use your tablet, please? If you accept, it's up to you. If you refuse, refuse politely. Here, better accept, we can say certainly, here you are. You are accepting to give her your tablet. Great. Now, let's check your understanding. I would like you just pause the video to do the exercises one after the other, slide by slide. You still have some 5 slides or 4 slides to check your understanding. Enjoy reviewing and, of course, do the exercise. You can do a great job. Stay safe, stay at home. And Ramadan Kareem. You can submit your answers to the following email as you see on the slide.